back, everybody. This is part 2 of my studio apartment complex build in Sims 4. If you haven't seen my previous video on this build, I will link it down below. That one focuses on laying out the complex as well as designing the exterior spaces. Today we will get into how I decided to design the interiors. I will also be furnishing the units themselves with their appliances, cabinetry, etc. But before we get started on that, I'm working to finish the public areas first. I am starting with the entry of the rooftop lounge. At first, I was kind of planning to keep it just an empty, discreet stairwell, and then you open up the doors to reveal this nice event space, but I decided against that because I wanted it to feel like an extension of the space too, where a couple can come in for a private chat or get away from the cold for a bit on a chilly night. I am now moving on to the gym's bathroom and then the gym itself. I love those floor-to-ceiling mirrors. I use them for my bathrooms all the time, mostly because for whatever reason, Sims doesn't offer a bathroom mirror, like a full wall mirror. I've been wanting one of those for ages. All we have are framed mirrors or standing mirrors. But as you can see, I used those floor-to-ceiling mirrors for the gym as well. Gotta have the obligatory mirror wall, obviously. I'm also laying down some equipment. This complex only has 10 units, so I'm thinking the 5 machines and mat should work well for the amount of residents here. Next is the laundry room. I placed 4 washers and dryers for the residents. I wanted it to look nice and homey in here as well, so I added a little bit of wall decor along with a nice rug. Starting on the leasing office now, I decided to split it up to make it a little more functional. So we have the main office area and then a hallway that leads to their private kitchen / break room and then a restroom for visitors. And once again, you will see my sporadic building. It's especially hard with interior furnishings because you're searching for one item, but you come across something that would fit in a different area. So I move over there and then start working on that area, completely forgetting I was working on a separate area in the first place. I wanted this office to look inviting and bright, so I included a lot of pinks and pastels and added quite a few plants. Also making the flooring that rich wood color as well as giving the walls a beige wallpaper. All the public areas of the complex have this warmer tone to them, whereas the units themselves have a cool gray tone, which actually looking back on the build, I completely forgot to change the wall color in the laundry room and the gym. That's embarrassing. I'll be sure to change that before designing any units for sure. Adding a small waiting area in the office too. This was unplanned, but I realized I needed some way to fill the extra space and I really like how it turned out. Just decorating the waiting area a bit more here. I actually pulled inspiration from my own current leasing office for this space. It's very clean looking, very warm, not overly cluttered. And just adding a bit of decor in the hallway as well. Putting in the bathroom now and oh my god, once again, not changing the wallpaper. But I am just using the same cabinetry, sink, and mirror as the gym restroom. Ooh, okay, yikes. I really am all over the place in this one. Like I said, it's super easy to go back and forth when it comes to decor. Finishing up the desks and then moving on to the leasing office kitchen, just making it a simple kitchen with a fridge and microwave so they can have their lunches in here, and also adding in a large table for them to sit at. And can't forget that pop of green in here as well. Once again, back to the bathroom, finishing up in here and adding a bit more ambianced lighting. I also wanted to distinguish all the doors in the complex, so I made all the front doors a pretty sort of teal blue. And moving on to the clubhouse now, I had an idea that I wanted this space to look somewhat tropical, just to make it a little bit more relaxing. So I went with rattan and light woods here and adding lots of plants as well. I really wanted it to feel like an escape in here. And adding in a little dining table in the middle there, overlooking the pool. I imagine residents would want to rent out the clubhouse for a big game or something with that big screen TV, or this could be a good space for a poolside kids' birthday party. We have a full functional kitchen here, again using those light woods. I was just adding some more decor, and now was about the time that I realized I didn't include a bathroom, so I had to think for a bit to see how I could fit one in. So I ended up having to make the clubhouse bigger and shift things over by 2 tiles, which I am super bummed about because the space I had to work with didn't really leave a lot of room for an extra door, but I made it work-ish. And here is where I had to switch out the roofing again after all my torment in part 1 when I couldn't decide how I wanted the roof. This bathroom was honestly more trouble than it was worth. Not my best work, but hey, you know, life goes on. Finishing up some decor here, and then totally forgot to add ACs to each unit, so I'm doing that here, and adding light switches as well, again paying attention to placing and making sure the ACs were symmetrical per building, and making sure each unit has the same amount of light switches. And now we're finally at my favorite part, figuring out the layout for each studio. I start in the bathrooms before I will be moving on to the kitchens. As I mentioned in my previous video, I have a special place in my heart for studios. I honestly don't know where this thought came from, but growing up, for some reason, I always dreamed of living in a studio as an adult. I did get to spend 3 years in a studio apartment, and it was my most favorite apartment ever. Most people don't dream of living in 450 square feet or less, but I love feeling cozy and being surrounded by all my things. I also just really love the creativity of studios. Because you have such a limited space, you need to get creative on where you put your furniture, how to visually create a bedroom space versus a living space versus a dining space. And for me, who likes cozy vibes, I don't like wide open spaces where the furniture is too far apart. To me, with larger spaces, it makes the space feel emptier, whereas a small space has a little more character and personality to it. The other thing I really appreciate about studios is that they feel like your own little corner of the world. For me, I might have had a girls' night there with one girlfriend, or a boyfriend would spend the night here or there, but it wasn't a place for entertaining. It was a place for me to retreat, recharge, and it was my haven, which is something that I needed and have always desired. So I don't know if this sentiment resonates with anybody in real life, but my goal for this build is to give that same feeling to the residents here. Just adding some finishing touches here with bathroom mirrors, microwaves, kitchen cabinets, etc. The thing that I really wish Sims would incorporate is hanging microwaves. So many apartments in real life come with a microwave already set above the stove, but for some reason Sims doesn't have that option, so I am including a countertop microwave in these units. Also decided last minute to provide all units with dishwashers. This build was honestly so much fun to make. It was challenging and time consuming, but I'm so excited that I've set myself up for a lot of furnishing in the near future. Decorating is my favorite part of Sims, so I truly can't wait to start moving residents in. I also wonder which unit I'll pick for myself. Tell me, are any of these floor plans appealing to you? Would you live in a place like this? Also, thank you to everyone who commented on my part 1 video. I've already received a few suggestions for residents, so I will be working on that for you all hopefully soon. And if you haven't commented yet, please comment below any ideas you'd like to see. So far, we have an artist and a minimalist dog owner moving in, along with myself, of course. I would really love to hear more suggestions from you as well. And if you're interested in seeing these future builds, please remember to subscribe and like this video. For now, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!